but that at the tail end of the spectrum, the curves are different. The male curve, in terms of test scores on math and science, tends to show a lot of really dumb men and a lot of really smart men, and the average somewhere in the middle. Okay, that does not mean that if you just pick a woman that she's going to be worse off than a man. It means that when you're looking at a statistical average of wages, you have to look at factors like this. Again, women tend to enter the STEM fields less often than men. And actually, when you look at countries that have supposedly more gender equality, what you see is that women enter STEM fields there even less often than in countries where there is more gender inequality. Why? Because if a woman has to get a high-earning job in order to support her family, it turns out that she will pick a STEM field because that's where the money is. But if you're in the Netherlands, where women don't have to get a STEM job in order to have a decent way of life, well, then they won't become doctors as often as they will go into other forms of job and occupation. University of Chicago economist Stephen Levitt says, quote, rather than interpreting women's lower wages as a failure, perhaps it should be seen as a sign that a higher wage simply isn't as meaningful an incentive for women as it is for men. Oh, how dare we? How dare we? No, every inequality of outcome means that America is terrible and horrible and no good and very bad, which again is why Joe Biden needs to immediately resign and hand over his seat to the incredible, historic black woman.
Sometimes I think they're going to do that. Okay, sometimes I think they're queuing up. I guess you don't know as much about American politics.
It just shocks me that guy is your president.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say our prime minister is much better, but Joe Biden really is a failure of a man.
I think that Michelle Obama, they're going to make a president someday or try to.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Who is his vice president. That will solve all of our problems, even though, by the way, again, they can't even define man and woman. If you ask them, what is a man?
And you know what's so funny about that? Like, what has she achieved to become president? But if you say that's misogynistic.
I think she went to some fancy school.
Like people would argue that Trump doesn't deserve to be president, even though Trump has literally built an empire.